This is Sarah, and I did a second version of my devil tail. Back in February, I very lovingly created this tail that I had meant to wear around on my body, and I think some of my constraints back then from the very beginning were that I'd be able to articulate the tail using my body, I would be able to wear it while sitting down, it wouldn't inhibit my movement, and I could use the bathroom without taking it off. So more or less functioning like an actual body part. The first version turned out really nice, but it was over-engineered, for sure. It ended up being made out of a lot of different materials, all of which helped it move very nicely when everything was said and done, but it was incredibly heavy, which wasn't ideal. And the thickness of the cable also inhibited me from moving it with ease as well. It was made from, oh gosh, like a bazillion vertebrae, which helped it articulate a lot, but each one of those vertebrae needed to be assembled, which took time, and they were all 3 different materials. Yeah, each little vertebrae nugget was made out of PET, 3D printed PET for structure. There was a cosmetic piece that went on the outside of the PET that was like a little kind of red TPU calamari that I wanted because I really like the qualities, the appearance qualities of red TPU. And then in between each of the vertebrae was a molded silicone disc that functioned in much the same way as the cartilage in our spine functions. It dampens any of the movement, just makes it more organic. And while all of these things combined worked really nicely together, I wouldn't have been able to puppet the thing using my body. I couldn't conceive of a mechanism that would allow me to have enough leverage to pull the pulleys and make it flick and wiggle and do the thing. So I set it down and backed away from it pretty much this entire year so far, but I was dreaming about it. I mentioned this, I lay in bed for like a half an hour every morning and I just think about like engineering shapes. Now with a little bit of free time, I decided to act on them. Now, I was able to dial back a lot of these extra materials I was using. I mentioned this before, but in February, I had this love affair with the red TPU filament. It looks like candy, it's flexible, it also kind of looks like sticky flesh. Everything that I pulled off the print bed looked like it was a new organ or something that had been birthed out of like oozy, sticky sugar goop. It was really important to me that the tail look like that material. So if that's really what I wanted, then why not just make the whole thing out of TPU? After all, TPU is super flexible, so I don't really need to mold those silicone discs. It's also very durable, so I didn't really have to worry about printing parts in PET because the strength was there. And since TPU already looks the way that I want it to, I don't have to worry about creating additional cosmetic pieces to outfit on top of the tail. They could all kind of be molded into one. I just had to figure out how to design it. And I did. Now, I do have to give credit to a very special plant that I happened to see while out and about at Star Nursery back in March. And there's only one left. I think it was on clearance or something. And it was a house plant called a, oh god, I'm gonna butcher the name, Bromeliad Guzmanian red. Guzmania? Bromelian. Had I not met this very special devil tongue plant that in and of itself looks like TPU, I wouldn't have had the inspiration or the idea to execute a tail in quite this way. Thank you, plant. I was able to create a ball and cup socket joint. The balls do fit in the sockets pretty snugly, and they're easy to snap together. There isn't a whole lot of fuss to get the ball, even if it's super deformed, into the cup. So even if the ball kind of gets stuck via friction inside of the cup socket, it doesn't really matter because the TPU flexes itself. And I made 10 different sizes of cosmetic leaf structure to go on the outside. So as of right now, I'm just printing a lot of each size, particularly the ones in the middle, so I can slowly put it together and get the right appearance for the taper of my tail. I also sourced some thinner wire rope from McMaster Carr, and the turn radius on this cable is very tight. Again, there's no hardware involved, there's no hard plastics like PET or ABS. It's literally just tiny thin pieces of TPU stuck together. It's magnitudes lighter than the previous version. So altogether, this is an incredibly promising second take at my tail. Not only should it function better, it should look a lot more like my drawings too. Yeah. I'm going on my first international trip later this summer. Mark and I will be in Austria carrying out the tail end of our residency project. And the exciting thing about this is that it looks like I'll be able to bring my tail along with me and wear it while I'm there. So I'm going to be the strange American walking around Linz in a devil tail and horns, and I absolutely can't wait for that. Until my next update, wear a mask, keep being nice to one another, keep making awesome stuff out there, and as always, thank you for watching.